Hey family, this is Savannah Day, and welcome back to the channel. So today I want to talk about us chasing our own desires and what the scripture says about that. And so I'm going to be reading from 1 Peter chapter 4, starting at verse 2. And it says, "You won't spend the rest of your lives chasing your own desires, but you will be anxious to do the will of God. You have had enough in the past of evil things that godless people enjoy, their immorality and lust, their feasting and drunkenness and wild parties, and their terrible worship of idols. Of course, your former friends are surprised when you no longer plunge into the flood of the wild and destructive things they do, so they slander you. But remember that they will have to face God, who stands ready to judge everyone, both the living and the dead." So let's talk about this. What is Peter trying to tell us? Trying to say, don't spend the rest of our lives chasing our own desires. So we have to ask ourselves, what are our desires versus God's desires? We have all had, been there and done that as far as like he said, the immorality, the lust, the feasting, the drunkenness, the wild parties, doing things that we wanted to do. But it's time for us to give our life over to Christ and His will and His ways. When we deliberately disobey God long enough, so do we want to continue? Do we want to continue to do that? We don't want to continue to deliberately just keep disobeying and doing what's not right. Then it says, you will be slandered for trying to live for God. Your old friends slander you. That just goes without saying that, when you're trying to do what's right and you're trying to change your ways, you're going to lose people. You're going to lose friends. You're going to lose family. They're going to talk about you because you're standing up for righteousness. You're not trying to go back and do the old things that you used to do. And when we tell God that we want to live right in His ways, we're completely turning our life over to Him. And then He begins to lead us. And God leading us is not like the world leading us. As the scripture says, I want to spend the rest of my life. We don't want to spend the rest of our life chasing our own desires, but, doing the things that He wants us to do, getting rid of that old stuff. So that's not like the world leading you. This is God leading us now. So it's doing things His way. And this means not doing what we want to do. The scripture also says that we're going to all have to give an account for God. It says, but remember that they face God, who stands ready to judge everyone, both the living and the dead. So no matter what happens in life here on earth, we all have to give an account for our lives and the things that we did and what we said and how we treated people, and just continuing to not obey and just going back and doing whatever we wanted, putting our agenda above God's agenda. So hopefully this helps someone and encourages someone, and just to, not chase our own desires, but be anxious, as the scripture says, but you will be anxious to do the will of God, to be anxious to do His will and not our own ways. So hopefully this inspires someone, and have a blessed day.